Reading the room sounds like some kind of superpower, doesn't it? Like this secret social sense that only a few people are born with. But what if it's not a mystery at all? What if it's actually a skill, something clear and learnable that we can break down, like right now? Let's get into it.
We've all been there, right? You're standing in a group of people, but you're not really there. Your mind is just going a mile a minute. Okay, what should I say next? Oh God, did that sound dumb? What are they thinking about me right now? It is absolutely exhausting, and it's the single biggest thing that stops us from actually connecting with people.
And that, right there, is the whole secret. The problem isn't that you don't know how to read people. The problem is that you're so busy analyzing yourself, you're totally missing everything that's happening around you. Your focus is just pointed in the completely wrong direction. So if the problem is that internal chatter, that overthinking, then the solution is a huge shift in your attention. It's all about moving from that self-conscious inner monologue to, an actual awareness of other people.
Just think about the two modes you can be in. On one side, you're in your head. You're constantly filtering every word, worrying about what they think, analyzing your own aura or vibe. But when you're reading the room, all that energy flips outward. You're just paying attention, you're actively listening, and you're just observing the conversation. It's a switch from self-obsession to genuine curiosity.
Yeah, that little editor in your brain that's trying to craft the perfect thing to say, that's your biggest enemy here. The very first, most important step is to just turn that voice down and, just pay attention.
Okay, so you did it. You've managed to get out of your own head. That's awesome. But now what? What do you actually do with all this newfound attention? Let's talk about the first really practical technique, mastering the art of the conversational pivot.
Look, we all have our passions, those things that just light us up. Maybe for you it's a super niche video game, or a specific period in history, or, and this is a real example from the source material, maybe you're really into pressure washing. It's great to share that, but true social skill is about noticing how that's being received.
Here's a super simple 4-step process. Go for it. Step 1, share your passion. But then, and this is the key, step 2, watch their reaction. I mean, really watch. Are their eyes glazing over? Are they doing that polite but empty nod? If you notice they're bored, step 3, that's not a failure, it's your cue. Step 4, pivot. Turn that spotlight right back around and ask them about their passions. Now let's get a little deeper. We can take that same idea, that same outward focus, and apply it to our one-on-one conversations. This is how you learn to listen for what people aren't actually saying out loud. Ah, the classic. We hear it, and we probably say it a dozen times a day. How are you? I'm fine. It's just the default social script, right? It's easy, it's automatic, and a lot of the time, it's a way to hide what's really going on.
And that's the question someone who's really paying attention starts to ask. You notice that little slump in their shoulders, the tired look in their eyes, or maybe a tone of voice that just doesn't quite match the words. Your attention picks up on that mismatch.
So what do you do with that information? Well, you can try something the source calls the injury update method. And no, it doesn't have to be about a literal injury. If you know they had a crazy deadline at work, or you can just tell they've had a rough day, you can gently ask about that specific thing. You basically create a little opening, a safe space for them to go beyond just, I'm fine. Now, this is so important. Your job is not to solve their problems. You are not their therapist. The only goal here is to show them that you see them. You're just sending a simple message that says, hey, I'm paying enough attention to you to notice that something might be up and I care. That, all by itself, can be incredibly powerful.
And this all leads us to the big why. Why are we even doing this? Is it to become some social mastermind who can manipulate people? No, not at all. The real goal is actually so much more meaningful than that. Here's the big secret about charisma. Genuinely charismatic people, the ones who just draw you in, they aren't trying to be the most interesting person in the room. They're trying to be the most interested person in the room. Their whole focus is about shifting the spotlight off themselves and finding ways to make other people feel important, appreciated, and seen. Let's go back to that heavy pressure washer for a second, because it's a perfect way to see this in action. Say you need help moving it. By reading the room, you might ask the person who maybe feels a little overlooked, and in that moment, you give them a chance to feel strong and capable. Or maybe you ask the person who's always the strong one but never really gets thanked for it. Now they feel seen and valued. Same task, totally different and better emotional impact.
So let's wrap this all up. First things first, stop overthinking and just start paying attention.
Second, get good at pivoting the conversation from your interests to theirs. Third, have the courage to look past the automatic "I'm fine" and show that you actually care. And finally, never forget the real goal. It's not about you, it's about making other people feel seen and valued.
And that's the real power in all of this. It turns social situations from something that feels like a stressful performance into a genuine opportunity to connect. So, I'll just leave you with this question. Just by shifting your focus outward, who could you make feel truly seen starting today?